take some solace that we've been here with this large a debt right after World War II, but we should not, because that debt could be paid off without increasing taxes or decreasing domestic spending, because we ended World War II and we brought the boys home. So we've never faced a crisis like this. We have a national debt that would embarrass Argentina. We've gotten away with it for a long time. But now we're reaching points that even the United States may not be able to handle. We have to deal with the size of the debt, the fact that crypto has said that it wants to take some or all of the benefits of being the world's reserve currency away from us. We have to deal with the insanity of our current president, Liberation Day, no Liberation Day, chaos is costly. We have to deal with the effect of inflation, and of course the Peterson Institute said that Trump's policies would increase inflation over the next several years by 4 to 7.5 points. We have to deal with the international effect of the lack of the rule of law, the increase in obvious corruption, and the attacks on the Fed, all of which undermine the image of the United States and the dollar. We're paying an awful lot. I mean, the debt compounds on itself because we have to pay interest on the debt, which is now going to be the largest thing we spend money on, or we monetize the debt. And I think we ought to be looking more at that, not because it's a solution, but because it may be less painful than paying interest on the debt. The chair of the full committee pointed out that we had $6 trillion of COVID spending. I should remind him that 70% of that was signed by Donald Trump. Whereas I don't know a Democrat who voted for the 2017 tax cut, and I don't know a Democrat that's going to vote for the tax cuts there. Considering now, I want to thank Ms. Satina for pointing out the importance of interest rate risk to our banks. That's what doomed Silicon Valley Bank. And the idea of treating a long-term instrument, federal or otherwise, as risk-free ignores the fact that interest rates can go up and down. Let's see. Believe it or not, I do have some questions in here somewhere. Okay, 3 years ago, I was able to pass the LIBOR Act, which dealt with $16 trillion of adjustable rate instruments, where had we not passed that act, the debtor and the creditor wouldn't know how much was to be paid because the index was no longer published. Mr. Werfel, we've now changed from LIBOR to SOFR. How's that going?
Thank you for the question. And I think the transition away from LIBOR has been a significant success. That's after many years of work, and I spent many years working on this problem at the Federal Reserve. We've seen a quite smooth transition away. That took a lot of work to make sure that the markets could successfully implement the change and then come out of it functioning smoothly. I think it's perhaps a useful parallel to some of the opportunities that the public sector has to support market change in the Treasury market, where adjustments to improve market safety like central clearing or targeted adjustments to the leverage ratio to improve intermediation or the ability to promote more liquidity in the market could be useful.
I want to squeeze in one more question. We have a supplemental leverage ratio, which is the key factor in banks determining their policies, and it seems to discriminate against U.S. Treasuries by regarding them as no more risk-free than bonds issued by private players in the market. The leverage capital requirements are insensitive to the fact that the Treasuries are risk-free as far as credit risk. Mr. Werfel, could you talk us through what happens in the broader financial markets if the U.S. Treasury markets become less liquid, perhaps as a result of the large banks feeling that they cannot hold U.S. Treasuries in the quantities they're used to?
Thank you for that question. The Treasury market is the safest, most liquid market in the world, and it really hinges on those two characteristics of a Treasury market. These are those foundational characteristics all the way back to Alexander Hamilton. It's a safe instrument to conduct a trade in, and you're guaranteed the payment by the government. It's also a liquid instrument because it can change hands. So I think if you undermine either of those characteristics of a Treasury security, you have a risk of undermining confidence in it as an asset class. It's a huge asset to the U.S. as a country and to taxpayers that we have this market that allows us to finance the government at low cost.
Gentleman's time has expired.